America, the land of dreams, the land of freedom, and the place where everyone hopes to one day buy a home. But lately, that dream is slipping through our fingers. From the rolling green hills of the Carolinas to the desert skylines of Arizona, something massive is shifting. Homes that once sat quietly in sleepy suburbs are now hot property, drawing bidding wars and record-breaking price tags. But why? It's not just about location anymore. It's about survival, investment, escape. And people are fleeing overcrowded, overpriced cities. They're running from smog, from sky-high taxes, from burnout. They're searching for a new beginning, and in the process, they're transforming entire cities across the country. But there's a catch. What feels like a fresh start for some becomes a pressure cooker for others. Locals priced out, teachers commuting 2 hours just to stay close to work, families uprooted by the very growth they once celebrated. So today we dive deep, not into the cities you already know are expensive, but into the 10 cities you may not realize are about to explode. These are the places where prices aren't just rising, they're about to skyrocket. From tech booms and hidden billion-dollar developments to remote worker migrations and climate havens, we'll explore why these cities are changing and who's getting left behind. This isn't just a list, it's a warning. It's a window into the future of American housing, and it starts now. 10 Raleigh, North Carolina, the tech capital. You didn't see coming, Raleigh, charming, green, and once quietly tucked behind bigger southern names like Atlanta or Charlotte. But today, it's turning into a giant. With a population that's surged by over 25% in the past decade, Raleigh isn't just growing, it's evolving. Why? Tech jobs, high quality of life, affordable housing, and Apple. In 2021, Apple announced a $1 billion East Coast campus in the heart of Research Triangle Park, a tech hub nestled between Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. With that single decision, thousands of six-figure jobs began flowing into the region, and with them, investors, developers, and rising home prices. A starter home that sold for $290,000 in 2020 now lists for over $450,000 in some neighborhoods, and this is just the beginning. But for the locals, teachers, social workers, young families, the dream is slipping. Rents have jumped 25% in just 3 years. New construction struggles to keep up. As more people flood in from New York, California, and even international hubs like London and Berlin, Raleigh's southern charm is being redefined, and its affordability reevaluated. Still, for many, it's worth the gamble because Raleigh isn't just a city anymore. It's a launch pad. 9, Tampa, Florida sunshine, sea breeze, and soaring prices. Tampa used to be Florida's best-kept secret, not anymore. In the last 5 years, Tampa has consistently ranked among the fastest-growing housing markets in the U.S. With its warm weather, no state income tax, and rapidly expanding job market, Tampa has become a magnet for remote workers and retirees alike. But behind the palm trees lies a story of massive change. The Tampa Bay metro area has seen billions in infrastructure investment, new bridges, rail extensions, smart city tech. And with Miami and Orlando priced out for many buyers, Tampa has become the next best option, Jabi, or arguably the better one. A 2-bedroom condo that cost $200,000 in 2019. It's now closer to $350,000, and coastal homes, they've doubled in price in some areas in just 4 years. But the pressure is mounting. For long-time locals, the shift is alarming. Property taxes are creeping up. Home insurance is becoming harder to secure due to storm threats, and wage growth isn't keeping pace with housing costs. Still, Tampa isn't slowing down. The lifestyle, the beauty, the opportunity, it's too appealing. And as the migration continues, home prices will keep soaring. 8. Boise, Idaho, the mountain metropolis that shocked America. Boise was once a sleepy mountain town. Now it's an urban gold rush. With Californians fleeing Los Angeles and San Francisco in droves, Boise has become one of the most relocated to cities in America. In fact, between 2020 and 2023, over 60% of Boise's newcomers came from out of state, most from the West Coast. Why? Because Boise offered what they couldn't find at home: affordability, safety, space. But that story's changing. In 2015, the average home in Boise was under $200,000. Today, it's pushing $500,000, with some neighborhoods averaging closer to $600,000. That's more than double in under a decade. Supply is low, demand is relentless, and the mountains, while beautiful, limit expansion. The city is struggling to preserve its charm while making room for everyone. And that balancing act, it's pushing prices even higher. Some locals have had to move into neighboring towns, commuting 2 hours just to stay near Boise. And as the tech scene begins to take hold here too, that affordability window is rapidly closing. 7. Nashville, Tennessee. From Music City to Money Magnet. Nashville has always had star power, but these days, the real stars are corporate. Oracle is bringing a $1.2 billion campus to the east side. Amazon opened its operations center of excellence, and health giants like HCA Healthcare continue expanding. The result, Nashville is booming, and not just in the music scene. Jobs are rising, so is wealth, and so are home prices. The average home now goes for $440,000, up nearly 80% since 2018. Once affordable neighborhoods are being gentrified, longtime residents are feeling pushed out, and rental prices are hitting all-time highs. But there's a reason people keep coming. The jobs are good, the culture is vibrant, and compared to New York or LA, it still feels like a bargain. But for how long? 6. Austin, Texas. Already booming and still boiling over. Austin's story isn't new, but its growth still explosive. Between Tesla's Gigafactory, Apple's billion-dollar campus, and Google expanding its downtown presence, Austin has become the poster child for the tech exodus from Silicon Valley. The result? A city transformed. Prices have skyrocketed. The median home price crossed $600,000 in 2022, dipped slightly, but is climbing again as inventory tightens. Neighborhoods like East Austin, once overlooked, are now packed with modern condos, chic cafes, and skyrocketing rents. The influx of high-earning professionals continues to push demand, while locals find themselves increasingly priced out. Yet, the city retains its quirky, live music soul, and that, combined with its opportunity, ensures demand isn't going anywhere. 5. Huntsville, Alabama, the quiet powerhouse. Rising under the radar. Huntsville might not be the first city that comes to mind when you think of explosive real estate growth, but if you look deeper, you'll see why this rocket city is being launched into the spotlight. Home to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, a rapidly growing biotech sector and one of the most educated workforces in the Southeast, Huntsville is booming quietly, and quickly. In 2022, it was named the #1 best place to live in the U.S. by U.S. News and World Report. Why? Aerospace expansion, low cost of living, strong public schools, low crime, but it won't be cheap for long. New subdivisions are popping up. High-end condos are breaking ground, and prices, once under $200,000 for a single-family home, are now averaging over $325,000, with elite zip codes pushing far higher. Yet there's still time, just barely. Huntsville's affordability won't last. Investors know it, locals feel it, and families hoping for a foothold in the future are racing against the clock for Charlotte, North Carolina, the financial giant. You're not watching closely enough. Charlotte is the second largest banking center in the US, just behind New York City, but most people still think of it as a nice southern town. They're about to be shocked with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Truist, and a growing number of fintech companies calling Charlotte home. This city has quietly become a global financial heavyweight, but the rise of finance has also brought a wave of high-paying jobs, remote workers, and luxury development. Let's see you transforming once quiet neighborhoods into bustling real estate hot zones. Housing costs up 40% since 2020. Downtown condos are now selling for $700,000 plus, and surrounding suburbs like Huntersville and Fort Mill are exploding with demand. But here's the catch: Charlotte is still more affordable than its banking competitors, and that gap is attracting even more buyers. The city is racing to build new housing, but infrastructure is straining. Schools are at capacity, traffic is climbing. Still, Charlotte's trajectory is clear upward. If you're looking for a place where growth is nearly guaranteed, follow the money. 3. Phoenix, Arizona. Sun, space, silicon, and skyrocketing prices. Few cities have transformed as fast as Phoenix. What was once seen as a retirement haven in the desert is now one of the hottest markets for young professionals, tech workers, and remote employees. Why? Because Phoenix offers space, modern homes, year-round sunshine, and until recently, affordability, but that last part is vanishing. Home prices in Phoenix have doubled since 2016. A house that sold for $220,000 now lists for over $450,000. And with California refugees flooding in, the supply just can't keep up. Add in the massive expansion of semiconductor factories, healthcare campuses, and EV manufacturing, and demand keeps climbing. But there are challenges. Phoenix's water supply is under scrutiny. Temperatures now regularly soar past 115 degrees Fahrenheit in summer, and locals face bidding wars, investor purchases, and soaring rents. Still, the appeal of Phoenix is undeniable. It's cheaper than LA, more spacious than Denver, and younger than Scottsdale for now. 2. Columbus, Ohio, the Midwestern underdog. With a $20 billion secret, Columbus was long seen as just a college town. But all that changed when Intel announced a $20 billion investment to build a semiconductor plant just outside the city. That single move is bringing 3,000 direct jobs and tens of thousands of indirect ones. Engineers, suppliers, technicians, and they all need homes. Suburban towns like New Albany, Gahanna, and Hilliard are seeing home demand spike overnight. Prices have risen over 30% in just 2 years now, and many experts say we're only at the beginning. But here's the magic of Columbus. It still feels accessible, it still feels normal, and that's why people love it. Affordable homes, great public schools, a vibrant downtown, and strong public universities. It's the classic American dream until demand drives it out of reach. This is the city where middle-class families can still get in early, but time is running out. 1. Salt Lake City, Utah. The Silicon Slopes are rising, and so are the prices. Salt Lake City used to be about mountains, Mormons, and snow. Now it's about startups, skiing, and six-figure salaries. Dubbed the Silicon Slopes, The region between Salt Lake City, Provo, and Park City has exploded with tech firms, venture capital, and young talent. Companies like Adobe, Qualtrics, and Lucid Software have made Utah their home, and with them has come one of the fastest growing housing markets in the country. Yeah, prices in Salt Lake City rose more than 65% between 2019 and 2023. The average home now costs over $550,000, with luxury townhomes and ski lodge retreats pushing into the millions. But there's a deeper issue. Salt Lake City has a severe housing shortage. The mountains limit sprawl, zoning restrictions slow down new builds, and investor interest is pushing prices up even faster. Add in climate migration, people fleeing wildfires, floods, or hurricanes, and you've got one of the most in-demand metros in America. For many, Salt Lake is a dream, but soon it may only be a dream for those who can afford it. It's heaven and hell wrapped in one stunning package. Across these 10 cities, one truth echoes louder than ever. Real estate is no longer local. It's personal, global, strategic, emotional. These aren't just homes, they're lifeboats. They're escape plans. They're futures. People are fleeing for safety, for space, for sanity. And in doing so, they're rewriting the story of American housing, but not everyone wins. The teacher who's lived in Charlotte for 30 years, now renting a room because she can't afford her old neighborhood. The family in Boise watching Californians drive up prices while their wages stay the same. The Tampa native who sees high rises instead of palm trees from their childhood backyard. This isn't just a market shift, it's a transformation of identity, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. So the question becomes, will these cities stay places of hope, or will they become cautionary tales of growth without equity? Because in America today, the next gold rush isn't in oil or land, it's in zip codes. Want to know which cities are next before the prices explode? Subscribe and join us as we uncover the hidden truths behind America's fastest changing places.